What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a very special beer review. Today we are reviewing and comparing Stella Unfiltered, Stella Artois Premium Lager, Saint Etienne brewed by ALDI Premium Lager, or Traditional Lager rather, or what does it say? Brewed for premium flavour. Premium, no, it does say premium. And then Galero brewed by LIDL Traditional Beer. Now, what do all these beers have in common? Well, these two are obviously brewed by Stella Artois, or at least used to be. And these two are not so subtly ALDI and LIDL's version of them. Now, let's do a quick comparison of look of the beers. So this one is obviously very normal to Stella, but except it's green. Basically, and it's unfiltered. The beer comes in a green bottle with 660 millilitres, and it's 5%. Now this one is Stella Artois' sort of original premium lager, 4.6% in a 440ml can, so it's 2.1 UK units. This is Saint Etienne Premium Lager Beer. It's 2.1 units, but it's 4.8. Got myself slightly confused. This is 2 units, this is 2.1. 4.8% in a 440ml can. And this is Galero Traditional Beer, brewed for LIDL stores. And it is 4.8% in a 500ml can. Just got a height difference, these two are the same. These two are slightly larger, especially this one. 2.1 UK units. So let's talk about the beers a little bit in general. Like I said, all gold tops except this one, which is in a bottle. These beers, these two are 4.8%, and I actually thought this was 4.8% as well, until recently when I realised that Stella Artois, this Stella Artois isn't. I could have sworn it was. Somebody please correct me, please, or not correct me, but please corroborate me and tell me that this used to be 4.8%, because I swear it used to. Now this is fairly new. It's not the newest, it's been out for a little while now, this Stella Unfiltered. I watched a review of it that said that it was, it's probably likely, or before they opened it, they said it was, before they opened it, said it was likely to be a little bit more like how Belgian beer used to be, because you see all these kind of not symbols, but you see lots of things on beers that say, this Stella one says 1366, but they don't mean that they've been brewing this lager since 1366. They've just been brewing Stella Artois beer since then, and a particular standalone. Can you guys hear that? Thumping. Bit annoying. It's quite loud thumping. Somebody's obviously not happy, one of my neighbours. Sorry about that, we'll carry on with this. But yeah, they've not been brewing this exact lager since 1366, because there just wouldn't have been possible. There weren't the same brewing techniques, there just weren't the same beers. But anyway, ALDI and LIDL have clearly done their own versions of it. And if we look at the can artwork, this one's more sort of, it's straighter, it's squarer. It has this kind of flowy writing on the front that both of them have. And it also says Premium Lager Beer as the Stella Artois. It's got gold around it instead of silver at the back. And now Galero, it says Premium Lager on the front as well. It's in a 500ml can, which I thought was interesting given that these two are 440. But it's not like you can't get Stella in 500 or pint cans. It's just how I've managed to pick them up. Yeah, again, 4.8%. So that just reinforces the fact that I thought Stella was 4.8%. But anyway, I've waffled on enough. We've had a look at how they look. I think it's important to get into them. So what I want to do, I've got these a little bit the wrong way around, I think. I want to try original Stella first as our base. So we'll get a glass. I've got all my glasses lined up. I think you guys can see that. So we're going to open up. We're going to do a look and taste test. We'll get them all out first, a little bit out. We're not going to pour out the whole cans. About that much. So this is our original Stella. Straw coloured, really easy to see through. I can see really easily through it. Fast, fast to come out head, but also fast to disappear head. Pop that there for a second. Let's get the unfiltered Stella out. skunkier on the nose. Much skunkier. Look at that. Darker. Hazier because it's unfiltered. Look at those two together. This one's definitely hazier. Similar head, but bigger bubbles in this one. Perhaps less kind of finely carbonated than this one, than Stella Original. Let's get the Saint Etienne. And just as a precursor for you guys, so you know exactly where my taste level lies, I've had these three before, but not this one. So let's pour it out. Bit sweeter than Stella on the nose. A little bit. Very, very similar in colour. Very, very similar in the head when they were first poured out. One last glass. Finally, let's get the one that doesn't even begin with S out. Similar looking, all three. Look in the camera. Yeah, all pretty similar looking. Smells almost like nothing, that one. Right, so we've got them all out a little bit. I'm going to shut my eyes when I taste them, but I am going to pick up I'm going to know which ones I'm tasting. So let's get into Stella Artois, the original first. I didn't even shut my eyes, so we won't bother with that. I quite like Stella, if I'm honest. It's got enough bitter hoppy lager finish to have enough flavour for me. It's not too strong, but it's also not too light either. Can be a little bit metallic, but it's probably that is in a can as well. Yeah, not usually a lot of complaints with this one. And just so you guys know, I don't think I'll be rating these out of 5, but I will probably rate 1 to 4 my favourites, just because just to be quite frank, I don't want to have to rate 4 beers in one go, right in front of me. I'm also probably going to, forget, but we'll just do my favourites. We'll rank them after that. So next one is the Saint Etienne. Sweeter than Stella, but it's got notes of similarities, I would say. Brewing this, they at least tried to mimic this, definitely. Let's go on to Gallo now. Smells similar when I go into it to the Saint Etienne. It's got a funny taste to it. Sweeter even than that one was to that one. And yeah, got a funny kind of acidy, odd taste afterwards. It's also kind of mouthfeel wise a little bit thinner, I would say, than these two. But finally, it shouldn't be the absolute pièce de résistance. This one should be. I'm just so excited to try this one. Much stronger on the nose. A bit more like a Germanic lager, I would say. So again, it's just stronger. It's a bit more stingy, nettly, a bit more bitter. But actually doesn't taste so different to that one. I thought it would taste a lot more different because usually unfiltered beers have a lot more flavour. It's very interesting. I'll put it out there, I don't think any of these are bad beers. It's just, what you pay, but really, and how much the brewer is going to put into it. It's very interesting to try all of these at once in one go. was really excited actually to try these all in one go. I specifically went to, you know, Aldi and Lidl to get these ones. I haven't been to Lidl in years. Well, not years, but I haven't primarily shopped at Lidl ever. So it was interesting to see that this one was the only one that didn't mimic any, or didn't this, you know, this one has a saint. I know this is Stella. Does it mean, maybe it means, no, Stella means star, or that's saint. Galero, I'm not sure what that means, if it means anything, but there's still hints to it, isn't there? We've got this kind of trumpet cornucopia, is that the right one? And this one's got an emblem on it. St. Etienne's the only one that hasn't done that. They probably liaise with each other, to be honest. At least these two probably liaise with each other about how that they can make it look enough like Stella that people have a familiarity to it and buy it, but not so similar that they can get sued, basically. And that's probably again why there's variation to each other as well. Why there's variations in can size. Why there's variations in percentage. I mean, Unfiltered they brought out to give you something different, I think. I think they probably brought Unfiltered out because Stella know that in order to make a craft beer, they probably have to not market it as Stella. They probably would have to market it under a completely different brand, like how whoever made this doesn't really help with my craft beer analogy, but like Inch's cider is brewed by Strongbow. Or is made by Strongbow, and that is completely separate to Strongbow's image. And similarly, I can't remember who makes Madry, but Madry is brewed by a really big brewer. And you're marketing something completely different, but by the people who know how to do it. So I think this is a way of getting into the craft beer field. I reckon what Stella will actually do if they want to actually go into the craft beer is to do an Inch's, to do a Madry, to make a beer that is completely separate to the Stella like label, but that can get all the marketing and everything behind the big name that Stella is. Anyway, I think I want to rank them, but I'm going to take another few sips of each one to really get a feel for it. Okay, I think I'm ready. It was actually harder than I thought it was going to be to mark my number one, but I'm going to do it in, I'm going to do it 4, 3, 2, 1. Or 4, 3, 2, I suppose. So number 4 is this one. It's just a bit too far away. It is lighter in colour than well, obviously all three, because this one's darker as well. I can see it on the camera that it's lighter. I don't think it's anything to do with my lighting. I think it is genuinely a bit lighter in colour. It's thinner, it's waterier, and it has an odd taste that just tastes a little bit off. I don't think it's bad. I think if you didn't fancy craft beer, which is totally understandable, and you didn't have a lot of budget, go for something like this. Go for an Aldi cheap beer. Why not? You know, you don't have to be a beer snob. You just have to like beer to be a beer fan. So yeah, this is my 4th, I'm going to say. This is my 3rd. It's actually very similar to Stella Artois. I didn't think at first when I was sipping them all together, but actually there was a point, and you might have seen me pull a face, where I was trying this one. It was like I had this glass in my hand. Not saying they're exactly the same, because I don't think they are, but I do believe that Aldi have, or whoever brews this for Aldi, have nailed a little bit better than Lidl have. Now my number 2 between Stella Unfiltered and Stella is actually going to be Stella Unfiltered. I don't know why I thought it would be better, but all I really get that's different is when I smell it, there's a lot more kind of weedy, skunky smell that I get. But I don't get any like amazing, like, I don't want it to be really different, because otherwise why would you label it as Stella Artois? You'd label it something else. But, you know, thought it might have a little bit more finesse to it rather than just kind of being a bit more hazy, a bit more skunky. So my number one in the Stella versus knockoff Stella versus original Stella review is actually Stella. Can't believe I'm saying that. There's going to be people who comments are going to probably explode with people who hate Stella. And this is not a I love Stella proclamation in this video at all. It's not my beer. It's not my choice of beer to go to when I just fancy an ordinary lager whatsoever. But I thought this would be really fun to try these all. Let me know if you guys want to see more. There's other beer. There's tons of other beers that multiple supermarkets make their knockoff versions of. So if you guys enjoyed it, let me know what you want to see. If you want to see a Kronenberg one or something like that, we'll see if we can get an extra type or just get 3 to review, or whatever we can do. We'll see what we can do. I hope you guys enjoyed this beer review. Sorry I didn't rate them, but you've got a ranking anyway. Let me know if you guys have had any of these, including just ordinary Stella, and what you think of it. You can tell me you know, chucking money your way, you might as well pour it down the toilet, that kind of analogy. You tell me it's your favourite. I'm interested to hear everyone's opinion, so let me know what you thought of this beer review, and if you want more of these types of reviews, let me know what you're drinking in general. And as always guys, keep drinking those craft beers, and I will catch you in the next beer review. Peace.